you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimping? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimping? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? Now that's a question in the series. Question for the pimpin' first. Hope you ain't got turned out, but look, this is what I'm saying. If you say you gotta turn out and she leave you, go square what you saying. Did you really turn her out to the game? Or did you turn her on to the man he pimpin's what he claimed? Did you tell her if she left you, she better choose with another pimp, cause the game with one or two? Did you tell her if she leave you, then she better not ever pay another pimp? Keep the money for herself and do whatever. Do you make the pimpin' the enemy, or do you let her know she's supposed to be married to the game? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimpin'? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimpin'? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? She said she don't wanna pay a pimp no more, because the last one she had didn't give her no dough. She said the last one she had used to just give her dick, and every time she made some money he would come collect it. When it was time for her hair and her nails, some new shoes, some new clothes, he would spend it on dough. Never gave instructions what she should do when she hoe. Pimpin' and a hoeing is a new world she should know. If she wanna choose up, she ain't out of pocket. It's the rules to the game, pimp, you gotta stop it. But bitch, if you choose down, then that's your fault. Gon' understand the price of loyalty can't be bought. Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimpin'? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned on to some pimpin'? Did you get turned out to the game? Or did you get turned off by that pen? What's up? I want to greet these people. What's up, bro? Tony Mack. Hey, CC, baby. Young Ism. Paris Bay. Is that Crow Dope? What up, Crow Dope? TT Mac Gun Reason. Total Life Coach. So look, what's up, Evie? What's going on, bro? Rabbi Rich.
Yeah, just
You out running around?
A little bit. Just a little bit. But I'm right here though, for sure.
Yeah, so what's up, Master Rexy? Well, you know, we've been on our, you know what I'm saying, out with the old, you know what I'm saying, in with the new. But at the same time, what's old is what's new. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, they say history repeats itself, right? But maybe that's the issue, right? Because we don't want it to always repeat itself, right? You know, the whole misled and just everything that we own, you know, how do we make the quote unquote pimping bigger, you know, keeping things in context, you know, when it comes to like look in the dictionary, what's that mean? Well, sure, with the game, you know, that's the square way, or that's the, you know, that's what the dictionary say. Okay, well then let's not use nothing out of the English language. We're gonna pick and choose what we're gonna use, you know, that's real or not, you know. Well, we know it's the game, you know, we made a whole mean this or isn't mean that, you know, within the game. But then the thing is that was the issue right there, because it's we making, or quote unquote the game making things what it wants to make it, and taking things out of context and making it like to what each individual or whoever, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, want it to be, right? And that's where all the confusion, I feel, really, or I think really started, as far as like, you know, being misled and people thinking one thing's one way, what's a pimp, what's not, what's hoe, what's not, what's this, what's this, what's this, what's that, right? So I say all that to say this.
Yeah,
Let's start from the beginning.
yeah. Let's
You
start
know what I'm
all the way
saying?
over.
Let's let's start from the yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So we'll be the beginning. Show the man, the woman, and like I say, I'm not, and like I said, just me being more mature in my growth when it comes to um, things I've learned, So like they say things like ignorance is bliss, right? That means ignorance, lack of knowledge. But why is ignorance bliss? Because sometimes when you know, then now you're accountable, right? So sometimes it's like, damn, I wish I never knew. I would have better not knowing because now that I know, I'm accountable, right? And then, so that's what I say, ignorance is bliss. Um, so I said all that to say, when it comes to the Bible, right? For sure, I will be a fool to say that, or I'll be a lie to say that, you know, that Bible doesn't have power. Them words don't mean something. It's definitely something special, right? The greatest book ever made in a sense, So for sure, I could say that. But I'm also know that to say I'm quote unquote a Christian, you know what I'm saying? Or to say that, people don't, did they ever say Christian in the Bible, right? So then when they say, basic instructions before leaving Earth, that's still an acronym. But then if we're gonna go with that, well, who's the instructions for, right? Everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's why everything, different stories or different examples and things from the Bible could touch to many different walks of life. In one sermon from one preacher, in the same church with 300 people doing 300 different things, because it's instructions for just human beings. Okay, now
Yeah.
you following me? Okay, now Master XC. It's Helios Biblios. It's Helios Biblios is Bible. Helios would be holy, right, in Greek. But it's the other way. It's Helios Biblios, Master XC. Helios meaning sun, right? And then Biblios meaning book. So the sun book, right? But the S-U-N sun. But I don't mean to go there because that's something else. And that's what I'm getting at. So, you too, you be, uh, you know, uh, seeking higher spiritual awareness
Absolutely.
as the days go on. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a thing. Now, I don't want to start rambling. Let me get back to what I'm saying now. So from the beginning, God, right, made man for him, okay, and then he made woman for man. When I read the Bible the other day, I was looking at the scripture and really paid attention. I didn't even realize that God presented the woman to the man. God brought the woman to the man, like here. And then man was like, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call her, I'm gonna name her, I'm gonna call her woman. Because she's flesh of my flesh and bone of my. The man named the woman, not even God, like in a sense. You know what I'm saying? The man named her. God made her. Said, "Here you go." Presented her to Adam. Well, if he would have been like, "Nah, I don't want it," you know what I'm saying? He might have made another bitch. Who knows? But he presented her to Adam. Adam named her, and you know what I'm saying? And but he made her for him. It's not good that man be their own. He needs a partner. He needs right. So that's why she was made. To assist, right? To be of use, to be of use, right? To be used, not misused, but to be used. Okay. His assistant more so than a partner in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Or an equal. So now what he's saying, so now this is what I'm saying. When it comes to pimping and hoeing, I'm gonna go on this limb and say this. Everything's slick talk. The pimp, that those four letters, that title, that slick talk.
I need you to break that down.
The hoe. I'm going to. The hoe. And somebody could tag Freeze if Freeze is out there. Cause I gotta let Freeze know something. Cause me and him had a back and forth. But then I understand what he's saying in a sense. Now, right? Because even Freeze was like, a hoe's a prostitute. I'm like, well, yeah, but a hoe just ain't a prostitute and da da da. But then I have to sit and think, so you the main one always talking about, okay, well, everybody look in the dictionary and what does horror mean? The derogatory way to what? Refer to a prostitute. Okay, now, well, everybody look up hooker. What's that mean, everybody? The informal way to what? Refer to a prostitute. Okay, so hooker short for hoe because okay, so well, that's cool, but what, nigga? She's still a prostitute. She's still a prostitute. So, right in that sense, the whore, the hoe, the hooker, that's just slang. That's just slang for what show? The prostitute. So whether it's the paid hoe, the whore hoe, the whatever hoe, the this hoe, the that hoe, it's still the slang for the prostitute. Well, sure. Well, you know what? In the game we say, well, then here comes this. We're making slick talk, right? So now the same thing with the pimping. If you really look at, okay, so y'all know how I be like the game versus game, or what's game? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Okay, well if that's game, then why don't we just call it knowledge or whatever that we're using? How come we lumping it all up and calling it game, right? So same thing with the pimp. What is pimping? You see what I'm saying? What is pimping? Oh, well, pimping is pimping. Okay, I get it. Well, what does it take to pimp? It takes pimping to pimp. Okay, man. Hey, right? I get all that. But really now, what actually is it? Psychology, uh, 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 life coaching, right? A doctor, you might have to be a lawyer, right? So all these different titles are everything, and all the different characteristics are everything that make up the qualities of the man that calls himself a pimp. But what I'm saying is, why are we calling it that? What is pimp? The words literally, not because it looks good, not because it sounds good. What is pimp, right? When we Google what's the oldest profession, right? Profession, prostitution gonna come up. Even in the Bible, they mention the prostitute. Host never mentioned in the Bible, and the word pimp is never mentioned in the Bible. It's made up, or in the sense of recognized as a profession. See, we could look up what's the oldest profession, prostitute gonna come up. Then we could look up the definition of prostitute, and that's something else. But when we look up pimp, they'll give us whatever definition they want to say. But then if you start looking back to the origins and do the best you can to do the research, they're gonna say the word pimp came from the word pimper or pimping, which means to dress nice. Well, that would make sense. But what I'm saying is really what is pimp? Okay, you gotta be a man before you a pimp first. So then when you a man and you become a pimp, then does the man stop? So let me ask you this, Evie, you still with me?
Yeah, I'm right here with you.
I'm Iz. What's up, y'all? Y'all gonna love this. Now watch this. So let me ask you, EB. Now, would you say that, okay, to be a pimp, gotta be a man first now. Would you say that one of the things to be in a man first would be to be able to take care of yourself
Absolutely.
financially? Okay. Now, if I was doing that before I was pimping, see? Now let me ask you this, E. Would we be able to pimp if there were no women?
No.
Okay. So now, if I'm a man first, right, with no woman, but I'm doing my thing and I'm making my money and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When the woman comes, me being a quote unquote pimp, I know how to deal with this type of bitch. I thank God that he didn't make me a trick. See, Eve was Adam's woman. That was his woman. But woman was made for mankind. Woman was made for mankind. So now, what kind of man is the man that the woman's gonna be? With the trick or
Right.
pimping? I would even say square because I don't believe a trick is really all the way a square for real. I think the square is the one that's saying like, I would never date a prostitute, right? Or the bitch. I would never be. But a trick was still like, all right, fuck it, shit is prostitute and nothing wrong, pay it, right? So I don't think a trick is all the way a square in a sense. So I'll say the trick, the square, or the pimping, right? What man are you? So what woman was made for mankind. Now, if God made man for him and made woman for man, then what it comes down to is this. How do I put this woman to use? And whatever type of woman that comes across my path, I'm going to know how to deal with her accordingly. As the pimping, I'm going to do what the pimping does. Now, when I say this, that's how we all started. If we only deal with the woman, that's a prostitute. If we only deal with the woman, that's a prostitute. And we can't make money any other way, or we can't deal with any other type of woman, or if we can only deal with a type of woman in order to be who we say we are, then we've now turned around and started dedicating our life to the creation that God gave us. We turned from God and started having to depend and basically worship and basically get our identity through the prostitute. We've said, okay, God, now, because you got to understand, when God made man, he said, you got dominion over all the earth. So nowadays, I would say, you got dominion over all game. When Adam was born, he had to make his money, do his thing, tend to but nowadays, right, he got dominion over all game. The pimp is the power. We should be utilizing all game. Now, the thing is this, E. The Mac is going to deal with the bitch where she's at already. But the pimping is going to have the bitch doing whatever he's on. Okay, well, but she has to be a prostitute. Okay, well, I get it. But what about a bitch that's over here doing exactly what I tell her to do? Submissive and everything, 100% and everything. Then it doesn't count because she didn't sell pussy. Okay, well, we got to make sure we don't get these people messed up because we don't want to start thinking that these niggas could just get a bitch and give her some game and tell her what to do, and she does exactly what he says and brings 100% back, and then he thinks he's a pimp. That sounds pretty pimpish to me, right? But is that what we're worried about? People thinking that they could just call themselves pimps?
Yeah. Hell yeah. It's an earned
But
title.
then this is the thing. But this is the thing. Like you said, the title, right? But this is the thing. How is it not?
Is it not what? How is what?
How is it not? How is that? If I only get money from a woman this way, what if the woman wants to bring me some money back this way? What if I don't even know how she really brought this money or what the fuck the bitch did? Or we don't know what the bitch
do behind closed doors? What if the
Well, let
bitch
me.
never sold a lick of pussy
Then
behind
he could
closed doors and we
never
thought she
be a
was
pimp
doing it? Why are we only accepting? How come the money
because
only
that's the
counts from
because
prostitution?
that's what the game
From that game.
is, bro. That's the game.
That's what the game is.
Who knows?
Who
I don't
made
know. I
that
wasn't there
way?
at the creation. I wasn't there when all of this was written. I just joined. I'm just a participant. That's it, bro. I'm just a participant.
Oh, oh, okay, but see, there's a difference between a participant and a competitor. The people sitting on the bench, the second, third
Well,
string,
let me ask you
they're
this
still
question real quick.
participants.
What's a pimp?
Mm-hmm.
Define pimp.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you say what's a pimp, well, you gotta say it's a man for sure. But then when you say what's a pimp, what is
No,
a
I'm asking you.
pimp? Is a pimp? No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Is a pimp what is, or is a pimp what? Listen, or is a pimp what's being used, or is pimping being used? What's a pimp? A pimp is nothing. A pimp is a title. A pimp is a
It's a title
title.
that has a
Put
definition, though. It's a
like
title
this.
that has meaning behind it. It's not
Well,
just an open title.
but watch this. But what
Well,
definition?
let's
Who
go to
gave the
Webster's,
definition?
like we do for everything else. And Webster's dictionary says a pimp is a
And if
man
we
who
do that,
controls prostitutes and takes what portions of the money, and that's what the definition
now is that
in
what
the
it is?
Webster says. So if we're going definition with prostitute, if we're
Well,
going with
is that
Webster's
what a pimp is?
definition with hoe, and we're going with Webster's definition with hooker and prostitute, then are we going to shy away from it when it comes to pimp?
No.
That's
So
what the
is that what a
dictionary
pimp
says.
does? You goddamn
That's
right.
what
That's
the
what a
dictionary.
pimp do, nigga.
So when you say, so look, so
It's
when you
okay.
say,
No, that's what I'm
no,
saying.
so
You
look,
goddamn
so
right.
when
That's
you
what a
say,
pimp do.
so when you
But
say, why does a pimp
but
only can he only the prostitute? Why only? Because by definition, that it only gives one definition: prostitution.
okay.
Absolutely,
But that's a pimp, right?
it's the
But what's pimping? See? Because the
it
thing,
is just the
huh?
verb. It's just the ing of the word pimp.
Okay, so then watch this.
No,
So you want to go
that's
by
what you've been
definition?
doing. I'm just matching your frequency.
What do you want to
I'm
do?
rolling with
Well,
your
what do you
question.
want to
So
do? What do you want to do?
Let's
Well,
stay on
then what you do?
definition. Let's stay
What
on
we doing
Webster.
then? We go okay. So look, because if we stay okay, so then let's stay on it, right? So then if that's the case, then they say that a pimp has to
Absolutely.
have a hoe. So if we're gonna go with definition based on that,
They're
everybody
wrong.
who's saying that they could be a
And
pimp
we've
without a
been
hoe
saying
can't be
this
that
for,
then no more.
bro, we've been saying this for
Based
a
on
long
definition,
time.
right? Okay, so that's fine. However, this is what I'm saying. Because this is what I'm saying, y'all. About 8-9 months ago, y'all show was saying this. PIMP. Shouldn't one P be for the prostitute and the other one be for the pimp? With the IM in the middle. So if it's the prostitute, then I'm is for the P's I'm for her, or if it's the I'm, then the P's the pimp. No, show that's crazy. And that's when shout out to Gov. Show, well, is the hoe with you or is the hoe with a trick? The hoe's with me, man. See, like Gov say, the prostitute's with the trick, or is the hoe with the trick? Is the hoe with the pimp? She leaves the door prostitute and comes back the hoe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel. That's my perspective.
But then watch this. But the hoe's still a prostitute.
Absolutely.
Definition,
By
right?
definition.
Exactly. So now this is what I'm saying. Can a prostitute be a man?
Yeah, but a hoe can't.
Thank you. Thank you. No, because the hoe's still a
Yeah,
prostitute.
but
Definition.
just because, but that's fine. But that
Definition.
doesn't, the
Definition, bro.
definition doesn't place a gender on it, bro.
You can't do
It
that.
doesn't define,
E.
because it
E.
doesn't
You can't do
define
that.
the gender in the definition.
Yes, it does. It says a
That's
person, typically
the
a
definition
woman,
for prostitute.
who sells sex right, typically. But the hoe is still a prostitute too. Definition E.
Oh, then I guess so. And if niggas want to live like that, then they gotta, yeah.
So listen, now you won't play. Look, so I'm saying, look. So now we have to say, now one thing we do know that a pimp ain't is a woman, but that's the game saying
That the game saying that, or is that Webster?
So if a no, well, that's the game saying a pimp can't be a woman. See, that's the game. Did the Webster say a man there? Because if you it said a man,
very specific. It 100% said a man.
Where's that? I didn't see that. Where's that at? Okay, a man who controls prostitution. Right. So even definition was good. Even better. Even better. Even better. God made man. See? Roddy Mack, what do you say? I use all 20 out of 26 letters of the alphabet game. I use all the letters of the alphabet game. See, the P has the power. Shout out to the 5%ers out there, right? The P is the power, right? But us being the pimping, we have to thank God that he made us not being a trick. We got to thank God that we're the man that he made with the power over what? All gain. All gain. Well, how does the pimp have the power over all gain? It's because of these things, y'all. What are the two evils in the world? The woman, far as pussy, and money. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Every greatest man's downfall is a woman. Eve, right? Evil, okay? So the woman and money. So being the pimping, the man, I'm the man that has the power over money. Remember, we got to make sure we're doing right with the money, doing this. So doing right with the money, making proper investments and doing right means we have to have discipline, means we have to have intelligence, means we have to not love the money more than we love God or righteousness. Same thing with the bitch. The pussy ain't going to have the power over me. The trick, it might. The square, it might, with the husband and the wife and all that. But because I'm the man that God blessed me, he didn't make me a trick. See, I was just 2 weeks ago, y'all. Oh, I was made for, the pimpin' was made for the hoe. The pimpin' was, fuck all that shit. The bitch was made for the pimping. But the man, if there were no women, then how would I pimp? So if my pimping is really only determined on how I deal with the woman in my life, then do I stop what I was doing as a man before I was a pimp, before it was the bitch? Now that I'm the pimping, then I stop everything that I knew as far as making money as a man, and then I got this bitch. She was already a prostitute. But not all women are prostitutes. But women were made for mankind. Why am I limiting myself just for one type of woman who only gets money in one way in order so I can claim this title? When really what's being used in order for me to deal with this bitch is managing skills, psychology skills, parenting skills. How am I minimizing my talents as a man because I want to lump all these beautiful attributes about me into one title, which is pronounced pimp? Hip hop, everybody, culture, everybody made the pimping cool. But people love the title. more than they love what comes, what it takes to validate the title in a sense. People love the title because even within the game, what's pimping? What's not? Pimps do this. I heard the pimp do this. I heard the pimp could do that. And then people really break it down. What's a pimp? A pimp is a man. So if one thing we know that for sure, a pimp is a man, then how do we make the pimping grow? Because if I'm only dealing with one type of woman and I'm only allowing money to come to me one type of way, which is prostitution, which is the devil's instructions, the fruit, eating the fruit. But she was the prostitute came before the pimp. The prostitute came before the pimp. What about the bitch that ain't the turnout? And she came when she's a prostitute. You're just not the trick, pimping. Great job. But she want to get this money to you so you can do what you're supposed to do with this money. Then great. Now, if this woman over here wants to give you the same money, but she got it a different way, she might give you more money. But just because she didn't get this money from prostitution, then now you have no identity. That's how, when it's only dealing with the prostitute, you've made her your God. Now you're worshiping her. You're living for her. She's not living for you anymore, Ebe. She's not living for you anymore. You're living for her in order for you to be who you want to be by title. Because if you remove the prostitute, then you remove you. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get what you're saying,
better?
but that doesn't mean that I think you're taking it out of context though, because I need.
Or am I putting it in its most realist context?
I need food every day, but that doesn't mean I worship food, and that doesn't mean I worship food now because I need food every day to be me.
No, what it means is you only eat one type of food every day, or if you don't get that food and you don't eat.
You said, say it again.
That's, you only eat one type of food every day, and if you don't eat that one kind of food, then you don't eat. Yeah, you do need food every day, but does it have to be
what
hamburgers?
I'm saying is that's something that I need to be, but that doesn't mean that I worship it.
How come food can't be the money, and the prostitute can't be whatever, or however you get the money can't be the type of food?
Is the things that because you just jumped over what I said. All I'm saying is
that for sure didn't, bro. Ask your question on exactly what you said.
Things that we need to be are not. That doesn't mean they're meant to be worshipped just because we need them to be. So it's like as man, we need a lot of things to be, but that doesn't mean we worship those things.
Well, what is worship? And even if we don't want to say worship, we're relying on the bitch for our identity when she was made for us, and we gave her identity by calling her woman because she was made from my flesh and my bones.
But you for sure. But this is the thing, right? Because many are called, but only few are chosen. Right? So there.
EB. So what up, be smooth? So look, y'all. So that's the thing. That's the thing, because y'all have to understand, prostitution, that's what's dangerous to the pimping. If you remove the prostitution, y'all, you remove the crime. Just that one act. Now listen, y'all. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. Shout out to the prostitutes, all that. I get it. I might have some, in my life now, who knows, right? But what I'm saying, y'all, is let's really know. We know when say, you know better, you do better, right? But people don't do better when they know better. We are living for a title. We are living for a title. That's really universal to any. Basically, really, it's really universal. See, listen, y'all. A person that's pimping correctly, right? Especially if the bitch was already a prostitute before she met you. If a nigga pimping like he's supposed to, don't y'all feel like we should win a Nobel Peace Prize? You know what I'm saying? Look, don't you think we're damn near closest to Jesus? You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Y'all want to play? Okay, look. In the most literalist form, y'all, the pimp could be a virgin. The hoe could be a virgin. And the trick could still be a virgin. For everybody to be happy still. In this most, what you mean, show? For sure the pimp could be a virgin, right? I gotta fuck the, right? And all you niggas with all this game, right? The hoe ain't gotta have sex to sell sex, right? A good hoe, she ain't gotta even have sex. Okay, well, let's go with that. So she hasn't had sex. And if she didn't have sex, then the trick didn't neither do then, right? Come on, y'all. When they say it ain't no top to this shit, well, if it ain't no top, then let's right? If it's some more of it, some more what? Some more pimping, well, what's that? So when you say what's pimping, and we have to break down, well, what does it take to pimp then, right? It take pimping to pimp, okay, slick talker. Well, what does it take to pimp, right? And you start breaking these things down, then that's what it is. Same thing with game. What's game? Oh, knowledge. Well, why we call it game? Oh, because it sounds cool. And this is where us being misled has come from. This is why, some of y'all are, or just even within the gang, quote unquote, we not having the harmony that we're supposed to have with each other because we're not living naturally how things were structured to be. Put the hoe to use. That's how does a pimp have a house and turn it to a happy home? HOUSE. That's house, right? Put the hoe to use, pimping. Put her to use. And happily, when she come back, bang, it'll be the hoe and me. HOME, home, right? The hoe and me together, right? That's how you have. So if you put her to use, okay, but now what? Give her game. Put her to use. How much game do you have, P? God gave you dominion over all game. God gave you dominion over all game. So why are you only accepting money from one part of the game? That's called prostitution. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Let me know if y'all still with me, because I know that he got down sometimes. Y'all still here? Can y'all hear me? Because this thing, can y'all hear? Hold on. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear? Let me know if y'all can still hear. Let me know if y'all can still hear me before I finish. Okay, good. Now, remember, if y'all can't hear me, as soon as y'all can't hear me, let me know. As soon as y'all can't hear me, let me know. Hopefully it'll keep going though. And like I say, y'all, these are my thoughts, right? And it's not always oh, here goes show again with the shit. Nah, I'm really, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is this, y'all. Why? It's like we need to stay focused on God and let her stay focused on us. If our pimping or us being able to be a pimp can only be done if there's a woman anyway, then wouldn't it be most important on me, putting the standard of my pimping solely based on how I deal with this bitch in my life? Why do I limit my pimping to the act of prostitution only? How come the bitch has to be the thing that makes me? How come the prostitute is the only thing that can validate the man that I am? That sounds a little trickish to me, y'all. That sounds a little trickish to me. See, what y'all have to understand is this. Pimps retired, hoes expired. But it's really the prostitution that expires because the bitches get older. But the hoeing lives forever if the pimping utilizing game. You dependent on the devils. If you have no other game to give the bitch, keyword other, for the bitch to use, when she gives you the money, then what? What's it gonna take? Once she gives you the money, more pimping? I get it, P, right? Or is it gonna take some game? Look, or is it gonna take some game, right? In any game, y'all, the points in a sense is money. In anything that we do in life, right? In any game, the points is money, legal or illegal. Right? When it comes to the pimping, right? Niggas popping all this big old pimping. But if they ain't got nothing to show for it, what we gonna say? Oh, nigga, you wasn't doing no pimping. Nigga, you blew the money, right? In the square world, if a person's successful and they're doing their thing, and hey, great job, he's doing great with the money. Anything in life, Floyd Mayweather. Why we love Floyd? How come Floyd Mayweather get is reverence, right? Not necessarily he was the best fighter, it's that, but okay, he was undefeated. But basically, it's this: he was good with his money. LeBron James, or you know what I'm saying, Michael Jordan, or certain people that remember that rapper Chameleonaire, y'all, Riding Dirty. When his name is still brought up after all this time, you know why he gets the accolades? Because he made wise business decisions with the money. So if the game in any walk of life, if success is determined by the proper choices that you're making with the money when it's all said and done, then why am I only limiting myself to one avenue in the world map of game? Why am I only limiting myself to one type of vehicle, prostitute, in the world transportation of gang, right? That doesn't really sound too pimpish to me. I'm sure God made me for a little more than that, right? It's just that when I run across this prostitute, because I am God's man, then I'm not going to encourage it by enticing her with the money to keep going. Because that's what the trick does, right? That's what the trick does, right? That's what the trick does. See, y'all got to understand this, right? And this is without the slick talk and all that. Yes, we know it's a lifestyle. Yes, we know all that. However, without all the bullshit, right? In the game of street life, it was what? Dope dealing. You got the gangbang, you got the con man, and you got the pimps, you got the whole, right? Basically, it was just another form of a hustle. It was another form of a hustle to get money in the underworld. We was laughing at the dope dealers back in the day. Why? Because they say, oh man, y'all getting all this time for selling dope, man. Hey man, we getting the same money that y'all getting, but it's the misdemeanor charge. That's what made it cool, or at that time, that's what made it unique. But now, see, for sure they giving a whole lot of time. You know what I'm saying? But why? Prostitution part. So what I'm saying, y'all, is this. That bitch been down with you 20 years. Her prostitution fading away. Yeah, she's still willing. P. For sure, she's still willing all she want to be. But the tricks ain't willing no more, right? Now, she done kept it solid for 20 years. Fuck it, 30. So it's over now? Bye, bitch, right? God damn. Right? Oh, man, no. You're supposed to set her up with her own so she could, okay, cool. But then where's her man at? Oh, it's too bad for the bitch. So now she ain't got pimping no more because her prostitution expired. But the gang's pimping the hoeing, right? But then hold on, so slick talk definition, hoeing is still prostitute, right? Come on, y'all. Look. Y'all want to play? How many niggas is pimping with hoes and still ain't doing no pimping, right? How many hoes really got pimping and ain't doing no hoeing, right? Come on, y'all. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. We have to make sure we're not allowing the pride of our ego to be greater than the power of this pimping. But really, the power of the P, of God. That's really what's spiritual. Oh, what do you do? I'm a manager. What else do you do? I'm a producer. What else you do? I'm a life. What else you do? Oh man, you saying all these things, man. I thought you was a pimp. Uh, you didn't ask me. my religion. You didn't ask me my spiritual beliefs. You didn't ask me my spiritual beliefs. You asked me how I made money. You asked me what I do. You asked me what I did to. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a fucking architect. I'm an engineer too, and I'm a psychologist too. And man, you're a powerful man. Well, thanks. Hey, you're a supreme guy. You have all those talents. Well, thanks. You got a wife? No, I don't believe in those. What you mean? What do you have? Do you have a girlfriend? No girl. Oh man, a guy like you don't have a wife or a girl or nothing that way. Well, hey, man, come with me to the strip club, man. Hey, there's some cool girls, and we can sit down and get lap dances and have a good time, man. No, I don't do that either. See. However, you can get the money to the bitch, and you know what I'll do with her? You want to run a train? You give her the money, and she's gonna give it to me, and I'll make sure the bitch stay on the right track. Come on, y'all. That's my spiritual beliefs. Now let's get back to the money. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all niggas still want to just pimp. y'all niggas still just you niggas just want to still pimp. Huh. You niggas want to say shit like if it's pimping, it's pimping. If it's I used to be the same way. That's why I'm laughing. Because I'm really laughing not at myself but with myself. Ignorance is bliss. Sometimes people just want to stay ignorant when they know or they could see the truth. They won't put the pride in their pocket. That's what some of they pimps need to be, huh? Pride in my pocket, right? For sure. They're letting the pride overpower God. That's what it is. And God, in this sense, is the man in you. Over what? A title? If you niggas never could say pimp again in your life out of your mouth, but you could still do exactly what the fuck a pimp do, would you rather not pimp anymore because you can't say it? Or would you not trip and keep pimping like a motherfucker without having to say it? What I'm trying to put emphasis, y'all, is we need to give ourselves more credit. We need to give ourselves more credit. We need to give ourselves a little more credit, y'all. Than pimping? Yeah. What's some more credit? Some more of it. Let's make and that's the thing. We can't in the same, thank you, God, in the same aspects. Everything that it takes to be a pimp is everything that we then deny to say we're a pimp. All the qualities that it takes in order to say is to be a pimp, to do what a pimp does, to then have to deny all of these same things because it's not pimping. Or all these things. The thing that made the title the title. But you niggas still thinking pimping is a man. If it's spiritual, then for sure that P is gonna be what, y'all? The 16th letter. 1 + 6 is 7. The highest number is 9. The first 7 is G, which is God. The 16 is the little g, which is P. What's more powerful than power, everybody. God, right? So for sure. But after God, so the P is power. Now I'm telling y'all my beliefs. The P is power. The I, the M, mastering. What are you mastering? Power. Or, right? I'm now God, right? So it's the master, it's the power over the two evils of the world, the main evils, which is the woman, the pussy, and the money. The pussy and the money. I'm thanking God that I'm not the trick. I'm not thanking God that He made me for the bitch. For one, because He didn't make me for the bitch. He made, hold on, y'all, excuse me, made the man for the woman. Why? Because He didn't make the man for the woman. He made the woman for the man. Period. So that's the foundation. Eve was Adam's woman, but woman was made for mankind. So now, what kind of man are you? Hey, woman, what kind of woman or what kind of man was made for the woman you are, right? So, for sure, the prostitute, for sure, is one type of man she's made for, right? Which would be the trick. However, on the other hand, she's made for what? For sure, she's made for the pimping. She's doing one with one. She's getting the money over here. And on the other hand, she's giving it over here. That's why these bitches who don't have pimping are doomed. Because they're just a woman without a man now. Because she knows as a prostitute, she's not made for a trick. She knows a trick could never be her man. So when y'all be like, oh, the bitch got knocked for the trick. No. What it was is she got knocked by the money. She made money her man, but she was only able to get the money through the man that was a trick. So she's not fulfilled, is my point, because the money is not a man. She just made the man that was a trick more important in her life because that's how she was getting the money. See? But that's still operating with a spirit of prostitution. It's the love of money is evil, right? But that's what I'm saying. But still, it's two most evils. I mean, it's that. It's women and money. But that's what makes the pimping so, powerful. Because don't y'all know what's the game really, y'all? What is the game made out of, right? Right? If people say, "Oh, life is a game. Life's the game of life," right? You know what you tell these niggas? You look at your life like a game, right? But they don't say that no more. But then the game of life, right? But as far as the game as we know it, what is it? It's the game between what? The man, the woman, sex, and money. The most natural things on earth is what the pimping got power over. That's why we able to infiltrate the Monica Lewinsky, right? The hoe that made it to the White House. The little stupid ass bitch who tore down the Clippers, the little V Stevie, I don't know, bitch, if y'all remember that, right? But what's my point? Infiltrating Cleopatra, right? Infiltrating in any type of arena. You set up a fucking emperor or fucking the king or the biggest boss or whoever the fuck you want to set up by sending the cute little bitch. Now whether you send her walking past his house in a little mini skirt, pimp in, or you utilize different game and have her knock on the door like she's a lost maid or something, right? Like she's the finest Jehovah Witness he had never seen, right? To get his attention to get in the house, whatever game you use, right? But that's how we. So that's the thing with the. So that's what makes it the most powerful. However, that's just within that instance. But as men, period. As a man, period, as the pimping, period, what I'm really pushing y'all is we need to stay focused on us, y'all. We need to make sure we giving ourselves more credit. We need to make sure that we, and like I say, I was just saying this a couple months ago, right? Oh yeah, bring out the gifts and the bits, and God made you the bill, and that is true. However, I got gifts too, bitch. Hold on, man. You got some gifts too, man. Yeah, my gift is pimping. I get it, slick talker. I used to be the same way. But what I'm saying is, we have to stop minimizing the man because we couldn't be a pimp anyway if it wasn't that first, right? And then on top of that, we couldn't be the pimping if it wasn't what second, the woman. So what are we utilizing? Game, which is what? Knowledge of what? How? And this is another thing. We not for sure, okay, the pimp is put on the hoe. However, each hoe ain't the same. So you're gonna have to have different game, different knowledge, different ways of doing stuff. Well, that's pimping, or well, that's just what you're calling it, pimping. Could be science. You know what I'm saying? Could it be philosophy? Could it be psychology? Could it be a whole bunch of other fly ass shit? But everybody wanna lump it up in one and call it pimping. I get it. It's cool. But it's an illusion. The title is what I'm speaking of, y'all. Because people are trying so hard just to be able to have or you know what I'm saying, identify with a title. Y'all know something else that tripped me out when I was thinking? And it's on some real shit. That's why I be like, before these niggas, what was you doing before you was pimping, right? Because when it come to, to the streets or, shit like that, right? Okay, you got the gang banging niggas, Mark, Scary, Hero. You got the robbers, niggas ain't doing that. You got the killers, and he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? You got, whatever else, right? But when it comes to the pimping, for sure, that's the street life, right? However, that's still something that people could kind of like, try to, well, not with the pimping, but you know what I'm saying, in the main scheme of things, people try to, it's something that they kind of slide under the umbrella in a sense and still feel street, if y'all understand what I'm saying. Still be, well, it's pimping, so I could be a square, or not square, it's pimping, so I could think. See, that's just vicious, y'all. Because even with the gang banging shit, with the gangster shit, they still call square shit square. You know what I'm saying? But the pimping called it shit crazy. But what I'm saying is this, y'all. We getting duped for the title, y'all. We getting duped for the title. When really, if we focused on everything that it took to be the title, we would be the most intelligent, accomplished, accepted title men that there are. Ooh, y'all ain't ready. Look what just hit me, y'all. Look what just hit me, y'all. This is crazy. The prostitute. Mm, mm, mm. So I gotta be careful saying this type of shit because I'm speaking it out loud. Damn. Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. It's about to fuck y'all up. But if it just came out the blue, nigga, God must be talking to nigga. You ain't thought about it before. You thought about it now. Okay, look, y'all. Nigga, look. Yeah, I was saying that prostitute is dangerous to the pimping because I was saying more in like legal and law, right? And I'm not for sure gonna say she's dangerous to a trick because that's not like a danger, right? However, she's a trick, right? But this is the reason. You, look, You know when they say the devil don't always come mean with the horns and like you think in the movies, right? The devil will come like the brand new car, right? Or the pretty girl, or you know what I'm saying? In order to throw you off track, no point intended, but could the devil be the title? The title that's making it look so pretty, the title of pimping, the title only that people want to be so and live up to so bad for the title. Remember, if we couldn't say it anymore, how many niggas might stop pimping if they could never say they was pimping? How many of you niggas would stop pimping if they couldn't say it? I can't say it no more, so I'll stop pimping. Well, then you had the wrong motive. And on the other side of the spectrum, the prostitute would, might be the one to entice the weak, hearted, or no, the tender dick husband, right? Oh yeah, if it wasn't for the prostitutes on the street every fucking day, then my husband wouldn't be cheating. And when we were living in the country, no prostitute, she was faithful. But these prostitutes, temptation, right? What if with the pimping, to say we're pimping and can only deal with the prostitute? What if the evil in that is us minimizing, stagnating, not demonstrating the qualities of the man, making us, in a sense, be blinded and deny ourselves, in a sense, which is still denying God. We're not able to be the best men we can be because we trying to hold on to a title that says I can only deal with this type of, no, I can only get money through this type of way, through this type of woman, and that's it. And even though I'm using the same thing that I could be in a high office floor with, and somebody got their legs kicked up on the couch and paying me $5,000 a session. Even though I'm using the same thing that the person goes up on the fucking stage and talks to and motivates and gets people all pumped up to go to their square jobs and get money. Even though I'm using the same thing that these motherfuckers counseling and do this and all that in order to have patience with their wife at home. Even though I'm doing the same thing that they say, just a masculine man, and a woman wants a man who, stands on what he's standing on and doesn't get emotional. And even though I'm doing all these same things that it takes to have control over the prostitute, I can't use any of them. Why? Because I can't call myself a pimp. Vicious. Because I can't call myself because that's not what a pimp is. Well, what's a pimp? A pimp is this. Then go ask the next person. Well, that ain't no pimp. Then you ask the next person. Oh, man, them niggas ain't pimping. And the one that said them niggas ain't pimping look like he ain't pimping, right? Then come on, y'all. But a pimp got to be a man, okay? But a pimp can't be a pimp unless with a woman, okay? So the name of the game itself is slick talk, y'all. The name of the game itself is slick talk, y'all. The devil don't want you to say the name of Jesus. You can say any other name you want to say, but Jesus got that name power. That's the man, right? So what happens? The devil don't want you to look in the mirror and say who your name, your God, man. He wants you to classify yourself, but try to strive to be everything that can't be defined by any body or thing in a sense. Y'all feel me? I just came to that right now, so I might next 2 weeks or something think about something. I don't know. Because I'm still learning too. Ain't no top to this shit. But I want more, y'all. I want more than, yeah, man, okay, I get it. I want more than everything. For y'all, I could be active right now. Ain't got nothing but these bitches doing nothing but prostitution. So I get it, right? But this is what I'm saying, y'all. How do we make it bigger? Because I can't grasp the fact why, when we're really doing what we're supposed to do, why they coming down so hard on the pimping. But I know why. Because they want to do it like weed, but they can't. So they want to make the laws on prostitution down there, make that legal, while they're upping the charges on the pimping. So let's get away with the pimping. Remember, pimping the black man game. So that's another thing that they're going to do. Another way to get with the black man, right? Do away with the pimping. Tax the prostitute. Now we're the new pimp. See? And under the eyes of the law, they don't even call it that no more. They gonna call what you calling that something else. So even by the standard of the law, they're not even recognizing it as that anymore. But when we really break down and really understand what this shit is, how you know that bitch ain't your trick, P? You really know what she's paying you for. For sure, the hoes could be tricks too. For sure, the prostitute could be a man too, right? But by definition, by game's sake, by anything else, one thing that can't be, no man is a pimp. I mean, no woman is no man, no pimp is a woman. But did you hear my Freudian slip right there, y'all? I said, one thing that can't be no man is a pimp. Nigga said, one thing that can't be no man is a pimp. Now I corrected it. One thing that can't be a pimp is a woman. Hold on, nigga. You might have said it right the first time, show. That's why they got the thing called a Freudian slip, right? If y'all don't know, it's a psychologist, the one of the ones who invented psychology. His name is Sigmund Freud, right? So like when you say something like how I just did, and you be like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. A Freudian slip, psychology says that that's really what you want to say. Like when they say your first mind, that was really your first mind. That was really the truth. So then when you slip up and try to change it, you could change it because what you might have meant to say, but the Freudian slip was like the truth that came out first in a sense. Maybe because the pimp, the man ain't whatever the fuck I said the first time about the man not being a pimp, or the pimp ain't being a man. Because y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? A pimp might have to be a man in order for the pimp to even be a pimp. But does the man have to be a pimp in order to be a man that the man is that the pimp is claiming to be? I can't say that twice. I forgot I said that. You're going to replay that one. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know it came out right, though. I'm going to try it again. If it takes the man to be a pimp. No, my Freudian slip, the pimp ain't a man. So if the pimp has to be a man, though, in order to be a pimp. Okay, cool. But then if I'm a man, the same man that it takes to be a pimp, but I chose not to grab that title off the shelf. because I was comfortable with the one that I already have. I mean, this is where I was made. Why do I need to grab another title to still do the thing that I'm already doing? Why am I so inclined to grab another title that only fits with the woman that's a prostitute? Why am I grabbing this title that only fits with the woman that's a prostitute? When if I didn't grab the title, I can still fit and do the things that I do with the same woman that's a prostitute. Am I trying to grab this title because it has lights and it's flashy and, you know what I'm saying, it smells good and everybody's looking at it when every other title's a little bit more dull? Why is this standing out so much? If on the tree, right, there are all different type of fruits, wouldn't you think that the fruit, like the one that shouldn't be ate, might be the one that's the brightest, the ripest, the one that looks the juiciest? Come on, y'all ain't ready. Maybe I'm having so inclined, right? God speaks in a small voice. Why is everybody screaming, Pippin? How come maybe I'm inclined to grab this title? So I can make it bigger than what God made me. So I can look to the title. Thank you, God. We're idolizing the title, y'all, not the spirit of this shit. We're idolizing the title. We're idolizing the title. It's not even a name. It's not who we are. We can change. We're idolizing the title. Hoeing is idolizing the title. 304s. The police know what that is by now, dumbasses. No, the new generation is what? Idolizing the title of what? 304. They're not thinking hoes when they're saying 304, y'all. They're thinking, you know, they be like, you know, we used to be like, are they down? Or, you know, 10 toes and they saying now stepper and all that. They saying 304 though. Like it ain't hoeing. They looking at 304. 304 is like the hybrid bitch, honestly. The 304, I've never met one 304 with the spirit of the hoe, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I ain't met one 30. I ain't met one bitch calling herself a 304 who had the spirit of some hoeing. So if you just said slick talk, I get it, but you know what I'm saying? Just for, you know. But I haven't. So what I'm explaining to y'all is sometimes, and oh God, thank you. And this title is for sale to everybody. Matter of fact, it ain't even for sale. The title is so beautiful. This most popping, attractive title, it's even for free. It's for free. It's like it's like the free in the sense to where damn near it's everything's an original Jordan box, right? But it still might be some knockoffs inside it, right? But the boxes, the free boxes, is an original or authentic Jordan box for sure. But then when you get to unboxing what's in that motherfucker, right? When you get to opening up, then you might see some knockoffs. But anybody can pick up the title and call it pimping. But anybody can pick up the title and call it pimping. until it take the man that's really doing what that title consists of to say that that ain't pimping. Even if that man is a pimp, because it could only be a pimp to say that. Even if the man said it wasn't pimping, because it was displayed so bright and beautiful and loud. Do y'all understand? You really don't want to be a pimp. You just, and it's a thing. What guy doesn't like to be cool with the girls, right? So with the stigma of pimping and, with the movies and TV and music, right? It was the guy who can have, 3 or 4 girls and look cool and, dress nice and girls. That's really what it does. But no one really cared what it took or what it consisted of, or what that union, what it took, what it takes, what goes on in order for you to see what you think is cool. Y'all understand? You got these niggas with the slick talk ing. I'm not going. Okay, cool, I get it. For sure you could put it to use. I ain't going, I get it. But what about instructing new game? Introducing new game. Implementing new game. Bitch, bring the ing so that I can be the new game for you, bitch. And my new game is not gonna be the thing to tell you to charge the trick some more money. Come on, y'all. My new game is not because you're here, bitch. I'm gonna stop uh, what I was doing before you got here. I don't know why I was, why I have this great talent, right? God gave it to me. But what we keep in this truest context, and then even for you slick talking ass niggas, if the name of the game is pimping and hoeing, then what's that got to do with prostitution? If the name of the game is pimping and hoeing, well, we know, how we made the hoe. Okay, then what if we making the hoe? Well, let's make the hoe then, and judge it by perspective on what hoeing and what pimping is. But even if you really want to come down to just the bottom, just foundation, when it comes to the game, the only truest things, they even have prostitute in the Bible. But even when it comes down to it, the prostitute and the trick. But the word trick ain't even right. The John, right? The word that ain't even really nothing. It's just a man with Adam, right? But the prostitute in the Bible, they talked about the woman. And if they weren't talking about her as a woman, they were talking about her as a prostitute or a harlot. Either you were a woman in the Bible referred to or a prostitute. Either you were a woman or the prostitute. The prostitute came before the pimp for sure. Okay, wasn't the pimp. So the prostitute is really the centerpiece of it all. I'm not a trick, bitch. So I don't have need dealings with you for that. Now, I see that you got a lot more going on than yourself, bitch, than just to sit back and just feel like you just need to open your legs, bitch. I mean, for sure, God made you for me, bitch, to be more than that. But, I didn't listen to God. Oh, thank you, God. I didn't listen to God and keep you close to make sure you didn't wander off to where now you wandered off and you heard another voice. And you heard another voice, bitch. They say Adam disobeyed and Eve deceived. Oh, well, if it wasn't for Eve, we wouldn't be in sin. Well, it's not that. It was, she ate it, okay, right? Which was sex, right? But he ate it. After he ate it, is when God said, Adam, what have you done? What this bitch ass nigga do? It's the woman you gave me. It's the woman you gave me. The woman, she gave me the fruit. And the bitch like, damn, snitch ass, right? Well, I got deceived by the snake. The serpent said. So now they walking back from the garden. Eve mad as a motherfucker. You stupid ass nigga. How come you didn't listen to God, right? How come you listen to me? Now you got us both in trouble. God, I'm sorry. This the woman. God, I'm sorry. Give me another chance. Give me a man that's going to listen to you, God. Give me a man that's going to stay focused on the instructions that you're giving him to give to me, God, to help him. Give me that. Even if I do wander off, God, give me the man that ain't going to wander off with me in a sense. If you leave her in her prostitution, you're denouncing God in a sense, like your own self. Because now you've left it up to her to create your identity. Now you left it up to her to create who you are when she was created for you, from you, and presented to you, and you named her woman. So who named her prostitute? So I'm not going to be the trick, bitch. If you do want to be righteous, I'm not going to be the trick as far as the one to keep enticing you with the money, bitch. But since I'm the quote unquote pimping, but since I'm the man that is not the trick, then go ahead and do your thing. Cause I understand you already been with. I understand it ain't no turning back now. But look, baby, as much sex as you're having or whatever you're doing to get the money, bitch, you bring it to me, bitch. And I'm not gonna be the one giving you the money to fuck. But for sure, when you give me this money, I'm gonna be the one building your hoeing up. And you will be, I'm your second chance, bitch. To where now, hoe is short for holy. This is how you have the righteous pimp. The pimp who could be a virgin, right? And the woman who chose hoeing, who chose to be holy. over her prostitution merely because she knew that she was made for a man, a type of man. She didn't feel complete and she wanted to do right. It really wasn't Eve's fault. If y'all really think about this, if it was God created man, then he created Eve for man. He gave Adam the instructions to make right. If she's wandering and she hears another voice or communicates with somebody else, how does she know what not to do? It wasn't like he said, God said, and beware if y'all talk to somebody else, don't talk to them. And beware of a serpent in a tree. No. Maybe the serpent was or whoever was some more instructions. Was another person. Like, okay, God was this person. This man was this person. I'm Eve. I'm the last one. I'm new. I'm the baby on the earth. No one told me that when somebody else talks that what they say didn't mean shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why we look down on the renegades. Because, bitch, you really choosing the money, bitch, over God. You really choose the money, bitch. You don't want a man, bitch. You know you're incomplete, bitch. Your little dog ain't gonna help, even if it is a boy, and you didn't, and he still has his balls, bitch. No woman is going to feel complete if she doesn't have a man. Why? Because that's who she was made for and from. And from. The man can be complete without a woman. She's just an addition. He might be happier, it could be, in a better mood sometimes with one. But a man can feel complete without a woman. Now, the more I talk, this shit crazy. But he might not feel complete without sex. But he'll feel complete without the woman. But he might not feel complete without the sex. Where's Show going? He can feel complete without the woman, but he might not feel complete without the sex. So he'll use his money to buy sex to tie him over without having to have the woman. And that's the trick. It's just that the trick is weak because he has to have sex, Adam. And he's even a weaker man because he won't even take care of the woman. That's what makes a trick so weak. Even the squarest husband would get more glory if he's taking care of his woman or a woman, period. The trick is weak because he has no control and can't have power in a sense, right, over the woman. And at the same time, he'll just use the money to pay for the sex, which still wasn't, without taking care of the woman. But the pimping ain't gotta have sex and shouldn't be weak, tender dick, right? And he definitely will take care of that bitch. Or my bad, y'all. The man. Y'all that's crazy. You'll never see a trick posing as a pimp to get the bitch. But for sure you will, huh? I'm talking about it real right. But how many times you heard of some, for sure it ain't pimping. But yeah, bit nigga try to get out of pocket, get the bitch out of pocket. Why? Because he might be giving trickish energy. You know what I'm saying? He might be trying to look like a trick, trying to get the bitch out of pocket. He might be calling the bitch online and doing what he can and playing the bitch. You know what I'm saying? But calling it pimping. If y'all could never say you a pimp, would you still pimp? That's the first question. If you couldn't say it, would you still do it? If no one could ever know you were a pimp, would you still want to be one? If you had to say and identify yourself with all the qualities that it actually takes to be a pimp, would you be willing to do that and comfortable and so feeling so cool to do that as you would if you couldn't say pimp? Doing what's vital to the title. I used to say this. You got to keep it in you and you got to keep it off you. But don't worry, because whatever's in you is going to come out anyway, right, P? That's what I used to say, right? But as I go along and I'm truly within my deepest part of my soul, trying to get the best understanding of this as possible, y'all. You know what's doing vital to the title now? Throwing it away and flushing it down the toilet. You know what's doing vital to the title now? Throwing it away. Why is that doing vital to the title? Because on the other side of it, you're doing what's vital to the title of the man. It's a double-edged sword. You doing what's vital to the title by throwing away the title of pimping in order to do what's vital to the title of MAN. Do what's vital to the title by throwing away the PIMP as the world knows it, the game knows it, in order to do what's vital to the title of MAN as God knows it, the game knows it, for what we were created for in the first place. God created us in his image. If I could look like it, first off, he took perspective, right? God took perspective. It took perspective to make the world. God is, let there be light. You know what I'm saying? Let me separate light from dark, right? God took light, but then God said, hey, I like my creation. It's the creator and the creation. God said, that's cool. Now, how would I look? If I could create myself, if I can draw myself on a piece of paper, right? What would I look like? And that's how he created man. Definitely we're his finest creation. Because we're in his image. He said, this is what I would look like. This is what I would be if I would. This would. Come on, y'all. Putting the title of pimp over the title of man. Not what a pimp does, not the spirit, not the mind, but the title only, the letters only. That has no true one can say definition. Everybody's going to give an acronym. But throwing the title away of the PIMP in order to vitalize the title of the MAN. But that same title of MAN is literally God. So that's what the devil's trying to do. He's making us trying to be this title and not trying to be God. When we're saying that we have to be God, which is the man, in order to be the title anyway. Y'all ain't ready. So then that's when I say, well, fuck. There's all kind of different religious beliefs, right? And this is when I believe this, y'all. Whatever somebody believes in, that's what it is, right? That's what I believe in. Whatever somebody believes in, that's what it is. So I have all respect for different religions and spiritualities, and you know what I'm saying? I think we can, pull some from here and pull some from here, because it's all game, right? So that's why when I say the supreme mathematics, it's not shove on that number shit. No, because that's the closest thing to God, or the closest spiritual reference, or godly connection that I could find that has to do with letters and numbers. If the title is PIMP and I'm saying doing what's about to throw it away, and y'all look, hey, niggas say throw away the pimp, our show is crazy. Nigga talking about throwing away the pimp. Well, what it is I'm saying throw away the pronunciation of these letters and what and the lights and shit that's making it look cool to get. Now we for sure can use the letters PIMP. But is there anything spiritual based or any type of godly connection to letters that I can at least refer to? The same way we say, well, what's the definition, right? Look in the definition. What's the dictionary for this? Or what's the definition for this word? Look in the dictionary for definition for that word, right? Or are there a definition for letters and numbers? Come on, man. Is there a definition for letters and numbers, y'all? That's when y'all hear me be talking about supreme mathematics and shit. That's when y'all hear me talk about that. Which leads me to this. I said, let me try this shit. This shit work. Let me try this shit. This shit work. And it worked. Which leads me to this on the screen. I'm over here trying to make it big and shit. Now, if y'all can see, it looks a little blurry, but I can see it's all right. This is the Supreme Mathematics list. So when y'all see me talking, I don't just be coming with the shit out my goddamn, out my ass. Now, I got my box in the way up there. It says, Allah the Father taught me, right. But when you look at this, right, you see where it says P equals power. I call these the alphabet gods. You know what I'm saying? The P means power. But let's look at the numbers first, y'all. 1 through 9 and 0, right? The number 7 stands for God or Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. What does an arm, a leg, another leg, that's 2 legs, another arm, that's 2 arms, and the head make the structure of or body of, right? A man. God, Allah, being the man, like the man, right? So 7 is G. The 7th letter of the alphabet is G. So they say G is God, right? Now, P, and look, so the reason why 9 is the highest number, or is it 0 is a cipher, is really 10, right? Is because those are like the main numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like the how can I say it? Like you know, the foundation in a sense. So what it is 1 is really 10, right? Because 10 minus 1 is 9. 2 is really 8. No, 1 is really 10. So 10 is really what? I hate when I do this. I'll fuck up when I start every time, right? 1 plus 9 is 10. So 1 is 9. That's what it is. 2 plus 8 is 10. So 2 is 8. 3 plus 7 is 10. So 3 is 7. 4 plus 6 is 10. So 4 is 6. 5 and 5 is 10, right? So now you're back equal. So 11 would be 2. 1 plus 1. 12 would be 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3. 13 would be 4, right? So you always break it down back to the single foundation number. So when I see P, that's the 16th letter of the alphabet. So 1 plus 6 equals 7, which goes back to God. This is why I say the P is the little g. It's the second g. But it makes sense because there have to be something bigger. Or what else would be bigger than the P, than power? If P means power, what's bigger than power, right? It would have to be God, right? So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, right? So 16 is really P for power on the little g level. But when you break it down to the soul, to the spirit, to the root of the power, if you did an ancestry, right? If you did a 23andMe on the P for power, it's going to come back God. 7. Y'all see the I? Right over there under the H, y'all. I stands for I. M, Dino, M equals master. I didn't make this shit up. And then we go back to P, which is power. Then the I, which is I, and the N stands for what, y'all? N-I-N, or now, N-O-W. And then we go back to the G, which is God. So when you hear pimping, when I hear pimp, I hear power, I've mastered power. When I hear pimping, it's power, I've mastered power, I'm now God. Or power, I've mastered power. Yeah, I'm now God. Because I say in now, right? But or in now's God, right? But however you want to look, that's how I view it. Because alphabet God says so, right? So then I have to say, well, then what if it's power? I've mastered power. Then what if I mastered the power over? Not being a trick, my dick, right? And I've mastered the power over the love of money. Even if it's me mastering the power of the love of money from just a prostitute. Even if it's me mastering power for the love of money, to where I am able to make these good investments and not blow the whole dough and this, even if it's, y'all see what I'm saying? Power, I mastered power over the two evilest things in the world, which is pussy, sex, right? In that sense, and money. To be a good pimp, quote unquote, then you have to what? Do good, be good with the money. Should be is a requirement. And what? Not be weak for the bitch. So when I hear pimp, it's power, master power. So that's the thing. I don't hear, oh, bitch better have my money. I don't hear trafficker, right? I don't hear piece of shit. I don't hear we don't care about your kids. I don't hear we don't ain't taking you to the doctor. I don't hear no need to teach you, right? I don't hear keep the whole dumb type shit. I don't hear ain't nobody dressed better than me. When I hear pimp, I hear power. The P&P perspective don't stand for pimp. That P don't stand for pimp. It stands for power. The power perspective. The power of perspective is literally how you say, hey, man, he pimped his way out of that one, man. The power of perspective is what really made a pimp to even be a pimp. Because of the perspective of, I'm not doing this with the bitch. I'm going to do that with the bitch. Or I'm not going to do that with the bitch. I'm going to do this with the bitch. And the power of perspective has shown saying that. Fuck what you doing with this bitch. It's what this bitch should be doing with you. Because she was made for you, to be with you, so you can use your game. And she can help you accomplish what the fuck you need to be accomplished. But what happens is we get so comfortable in just getting the money from the product, getting the money. Get how you live. I get it, y'all. But I'm trying to encourage us to learn more game as possible. Learn new ways to make money. That's legal. Because remember, if you're going to do something illegal, it's only right. But learn new things, you know. You got your own gifts, P. Don't neglect the man. Don't neglect who God created you to be only based on the title. I ain't saying nothing about stop doing what the title consists of doing. What I'm saying is people are overdoing or misdoing shit. Ooh, whoa. The more I talk this shit crazy, people are mispimping in a sense, which I don't, this is crazy. Look, people are trying so hard to be the title that if they weren't trying hard to be the title so bad and they were just being who they were without the title, they'd be doing what it takes to be the title they're trying to be anyway. Who's still up with me, man? Y'all put some crayons in there. Who's still up? Because I feel like I don't know if y'all fell asleep, if I'm running my mouth. What? Y'all still up? Y'all still up? I want to know if y'all still up with me, man. I was being supposed to say in this goddamn live, man. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go as the spirit leads y'all, because like I say, I done been through some things. You know what I'm saying? And for sure I got a disease. You know what I'm saying? And I went to the doctor and they didn't have no cure. They just sent me away with vitamin P. We gotta take it back to just what's documented, what, you know what I'm saying? I get the slick talk. Y'all done been there, done that. And I'm tired of these niggas talking about, the half nigga getting up. Yeah, man, back in my day, man, shut up, nigga. What you doing now, nigga? Oh, yeah, man, you niggas nowadays ain't, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear that shit. Everybody want to start putting the hundreds and fires, signs and shit, all because a motherfucker get up talking about how shit used to be. And they really probably the ones ain't doing no pimping now anyway. For sure, what's the motherfuckers that's trying to make the pimping bigger? How to expand within the pimping and still be pimping? That's probably really doing some pimping. Y'all know something? And I'm going to end with this. I'm going to end with this. When I'm speaking on this hoe is holy, right, y'all? The holy hoe and all that, right? And I'm not saying this just to like brag. I swear on my pimping, I'm not saying this for that. But if y'all notice, well, at the time, this page have 4,000 followers, right? Or something like that. 4,200, 4,400, something like that. This page, okay? Now, on the page, y'all, I have a reel pinned, okay? I have a reel pinned. And it's the reel with the little bitch that turns into the goblin. Y'all know what I'm talking about? If y'all go on the main page and ain't seen, it's the reel that the little bitch turned to the goblin, right? And I have found the reel from another page, but it had a different song on it. And the song it had, I was, man, I said, this song don't even go with this shit. So I'm just thinking, I said, well, I'll put this on. This should go better with the transition. Like, yeah, she ain't gonna let nothing form against her prosper. So when the bitch is turned to a little demon, yeah, you let her prosper. Yeah, that's how we look at you, bitch, right? Hey, right. Sometimes the bitch look at herself like a little goblin, and we looking at her like the holy hoe. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes we're looking at her like the goblin. You know what I'm saying? However it goes, right? Sometimes she sees herself, right? But the thing is this: that post, y'all, that reel, right now, it's at 1.5 million views, y'all. Viral like a motherfucker. And I'm following just been going up, right? But that post is the bitch as a little goblin, right? So in a sense, that's like the bitch who's staying in their prostitution. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And then here come the people. It won't work. And I wouldn't even, what made me use that reel is because at the end of it, she threw up the peas. So like she made it game related. So all right, you little bitch, right? So I changed the song on the reel. And that's like the second time I ever did that. The first time I ever changed the song on the reel was on a post with Lil Frog. They got the frogs on there, like doing like the backstroke, like a frog swimming on his back. And that's why I put the Silky Slim like backstroke, right? That's the first time I ever did it. But the second time I ever did it was what I'm saying now, y'all, right? And the caption I put is, what you see versus what I see. Then I said, what? Power to the P. I've never ever wrote a caption, power to the P. And I ain't even said that before like that. But just how it was, just, what you see versus what I see, power to the P. 1.5 million is still going, y'all. 1.5 million is still going. And without one hashtag, followers going up, this, that. So what you saying? You bragging? No. I'm saying, do y'all think it's coincidence that the first time I put power to the P on a reel, that is representing what I'm pushing as far as the don't leave her in the prostitution and make the hoe holy? That God made it go viral so as many people could see it or hear the energy as possible could see it. So that's my sign that God is saying, or even the game for the game's sake, this is the way to lead the next, this is the way to usher in the new generations. Based on that. This page been going for what, about a year and a half, 2 years? He ain't ever with no virals on nothing. And I'm going to other motherfuckers with millions of followers and verified shit. And I'm looking at their reels like, hold on, let me see how common this shit is. So yeah, little by little, sometimes I'm going to talk my shit in a little bit. So we're supposed to celebrate, right? But on the spiritual level, when I'm sitting here, that's God kind of confirming, yes, keep going. Push this. That's him letting me know, push this. This shit don't ever stop, y'all. This shit don't stop. And for sure, I love this shit. You don't think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, you don't think Steph Curry is still trying to wonder if he can make a shot this way too? Or make a shot that way too? You don't think LeBron is thinking of a way to run through some motherfuckers and, at the last second to win the game type shit? You don't think, you know what I'm saying? All the greats of anything are still looking what? To be greater. It don't mean because we striving to be greater that we're lesser. No, we're striving to be greater because maybe we're at a level of greatness to where that just don't feel enough. However, I'm not trying to remove the pimping at all in the spirit of what I'm saying. I'm trying to remove the slick talk and the title. Because when I hear pimp, I just showed y'all how I look at it. So I'm not trying to remove pimping at all because I for sure know what I mean when I'm saying pimping. But if a motherfucker can't say what it is when he's saying pimping, then what? And if he's saying what it is when he's saying pimping, then how come it just can't be what it is? And why are you calling it pimping? Oh, because pimping is what it is? No, pimping is just a title that was put on. But why was it put on? It was to keep us distracted and not reverencing and being and keeping ourselves stagnant by putting the title before who we truly are, which is God. That's why. That's why. Oh fuck! This is crazy, y'all. Look, Is it crazy? Your P standing for people, your P standing for power. That's why, what do they say? The devil has control. God gave the devil control to basically, the devil's like the God of the earth, kind of, right? So if game is the world and the P has the power over all game, well, then wouldn't the spirit of the devil, in a sense, right, y'all? However, that's the pimp. But if your P is power, God, powering, for sure it's going to take power in God to what? No weapon formed against, right? For sure it's going to take the power of God to what? I ain't going to let the money overtake my what I'm supposed to do. For sure it's going to take the power in God to what? Control your little head down there, buddy. For sure it's going to take the power in God to what? Give that bitch a second chance who wanted to be righteous. Because God made me in his image. Until next time, y'all. Power to the P.
I can make your life better, bitch. With the same things you try to tell me with. I'm not your average man, I don't come with a script. But I know my purpose and what to do with a bitch. Instructions I have, instructions of what you need. Like use a soft cup, not a sponge when you bleed. Keep in touch with a pimp and don't do drugs with a trick. Don't let them in your car and don't lock yourself in here. Wanna know how I'm there and here on the same night? You're on a private jet, that's a different plane flight. Telling the air, atmosphere is clear, surrounded by blue sky everywhere. Going from state to state, just crossing the country. Go from country to country when you cross country. Nothing can stop you when you can see the beauty and ugly. Like when she looked me in the eye and say truly she loved me. I don't give a bitch, so she tried to my fuck. So I look back at her and I say more money. I am really a pimp, bitch. What did you think? Vintage Versace silk and long hair minks, Mason or Jella. Feet of this fella, pressing on the pedals of Rolls Royce and Bentleys. When I say some more of it, I got game plenty. I can make your life better, bitch. I can make your life better, bitch. With the same things you try to tell me with. I'm not your average man, I don't come with a script. But I know my purpose and what to do with a bitch. Instructions I have, instructions of what you need. Like use a soft cup, not a sponge when you bleed. Keep in touch with a pimp and don't do drugs with a trick. Don't let them in your car and don't lock yourself in.
She asks how I expect her to do impossible chores. Cook dinner and sweep the ceiling while you mopping the floor. You want my heart? I'll send you through an obstacle course. What's the cologne I got on? It's Versace, of course. Yeah, ho. Let's find some spots to explore. It's more than busting dates, be an entrepreneur. What good is an empty clip with perfect aim? Or $1 million worth of coochie with $0 worth of game. Capital P presidential campaign. Maximize potential of the home you claim. Iceberg, I'm as cold as the name. As cold as the glow from the stones in the chain. Wanna elevate? I can show you the way. But if you wanna play, I'ma throw you away. Gotta stay down even on a slow day. Never trust the trick, keep control of the day. I can make your life better, whore. Provide clarity of what you do it for. Stay true to the game and the world is yours. Put the hoe in holy, give praise to the Lord. Instructions I give, instructions on what you need. Don't ever start service without collecting the fee. Keep in touch with a pimp, don't get drunk with a trick. Don't let him in your car and don't lock yourself in his. I can make your life better, whore. Provide clarity of what you do it